Well, it's Friday, so it must be time for a Finish Strong Friday. So here we go. We're going to do a little series here for the next few weeks on developing the confidence to go after your dreams. Everybody's always like, you always say, keep moving in the direction of your dreams, right? Well, that's what we're all about here at A to B for me. So I want to go through a little series on developing the confidence to do that. And these are basically my success principles. So we're going to go through this in little bite-sized pieces. I know the last series, a self-mastery series we did, might have taxed you a little bit because I had them like 45 minutes, 60 minutes type programs, and I'm gonna chop this one up a little bit tighter for you, so you don't have to spend quite so much time, but can still get some relevant breaking points so you can reflect on those and get those in your planner and get rolling. All right. Well, I'm going to back out of here so that you can see the screen big, and that's what I look like in Paris. I can see how much happier I am when I'm over there. But anyway, let's get through this and get started with how we develop the confidence to go after your dreams. All right. Well, I'm going to start out with Samuel Johnson here. He said self-confidence is the first requisite to great undertakings. And so I think that's just a great way to kick it off because you have the power to cultivate the confidence it takes to be able to achieve whatever you want in life. And this series is going to provide you with a real plan to get started in your quest for confidence and help you accomplish your ultimate dreams, which here at A to B for me, we call destiny, right, in each area. First of all, you're going to develop a clear image of what your dream life looks like. So we're going to do an old-fashioned dream session. Back in my early Amway days, we always started all of our opportunity meetings with a dream session. That's to kind of get the stinking thinking out of people's head and get the possibility thinking in your head of what could happen. So we're going to talk about developing a clear image of what your dream life looks like. Then you'll learn the truth about confidence. What is it, what it feels like, and how it'll change your life. Selecting a role model, I want to do that, someone that you see as confident. And that's a very, very important part of your journey. So we always talk about the people you hang out with, but you want to grab a role model that can really, really exhibit what confidence is, so you can help, you can mimic that and take on some of those traits. We talked about that in Thrive Thursday yesterday as well. Next, you'll discover how to maintain consistent motivation with action steps to keep your motivation in high gear, right? I mean, because there's motivation, there's inspiration, determination, dedication, and my favorite, persistence. All these things, we got to get lined up and get them rolling for you. And then finally, I'm going to give you some tips on finding your own inspiration, because many times, we've all gone to these big seminars and these rallies, and we're with all these people, and we're all excited, and maybe some are a little crazy, and three of them in the room actually made a lot of money. So they're all excited. They're giving you hope. But then you get back from these things and you're all pumped up. I mean, dadgum, you were 7 foot tall and bulletproof when you left. And you get home and, the notes are probably still in your luggage somewhere. And you find them next time you pull your luggage out. And you never look at it, you never think about it, never do anything again, and really didn't get anything out of it. So we want to help you to find a way so that you can get your own inspiration going. And once you're inspired, your confidence is going to reach its highest levels to compel you to move closer and closer to the incredible dream that you desire. We want you to expect success. You have to have that air of expectancy and enjoy this journey. As you apply these concepts to develop your confidence, your life will change in ways you can't imagine. All right, well, let's get going here. First of all, what is your dream? Now, we're going to have a lot of pictures of kids in this because we want you, a lot of times we lose that childlike faith. We get so messed up in this big old adult world, and we get to turn into Scrooges, and we get that stinking thinking going and that negativity in our head. So let's get back to these times and these pictures and put these in your head. What is your dream? I don't care if you're 9 or you're 90. Let's get up there and let's start visualize your dreams. You've got to visualize them. And I know that I give vision boards a knock every now and then because I talk so much about action boards. But first thing you got to do is you got to know what your dream and you got to visualize them. It's because in order to go after your dreams, it's important to have a clear idea of what you're seeking in life, and that is one of the reasons why one of the first things I go through with folks is the Week of You and the University of You and all those programs where we're finding out your why. We're talking about what it looks like. What your life purpose is, and then setting those goals. When you can define the life you'll live when your dreams come true, your passion will ignite. Remember, what the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, and that's what we want to do. We want to get the subconscious on board here, and when so you need to define the life that you'll live when your dreams come true, and that will again ignite those passions and get that motivation going. And once your passion's burning bright, you'll be compelled to develop the confidence you require to achieve those dreams. And we're going to explore the following questions here to aid you in visualizing what your desires will look like. So today we're going to talk about visualizing your dreams. All right. So the first one is who, right? Who will you be living with? Now, if it's not your current partner, you might not want to have too many conversations over dinner about this PowerPoint, but hopefully it is. Who will you be living with? An important part of the future you crave will likely include others, because unless your whole goal is just to go up on a mountaintop and live with the monks or something, an important part of the future, and that could be it. And hey, I'm happy for you, but an important part of the future is likely going to include others. So when you imagine your dream life, who else do you include in the picture? So put down in your journal, who will I be living with? What's going on here? And the better you can visualize the people who you'll want near you, the more you'll beef up your confidence level. For me, whenever I really get down and out, and I was like, man, what am I really doing this for? Dadgum, I mean, what are we going to do? And of course, Jan hears that. She's like, what do you mean who we're going to do? I'm right here, right? Oh, yeah, I think of the kids. I think of the grandkids, wanting to do great things with them and really want to leave legacy. But mainly just you want to be a role model. Want to be no quitter, right? But it'll get you that confidence level up, and then you'll begin to think, I'm working hard to make my dreams come true, and I want my spouse or my child or my grandkids to be with me, right? It's going to happen. You want to visualize that. Visualize maybe that annual trip that you take where everybody gets together. We live in such a fragmented world these days. We got kids here, kids there, relatives here, relatives there, and nobody ever gets together. We see each other on Facebook. Well, hey, maybe one of your things is I'm going to fund that annual get together, right? We're going to get an all-inclusive somewhere, and we're just gonna go down, and it's all on my dime. I'm gonna fly everybody in. We're gonna have a great time, and maybe that's one of your big things, right? Or maybe it's just grabbing the kids and throwing them in an RV and going camping and showing them what's out there, right? I don't know what it is for you. Maybe it's taking everybody on a big cruise. I don't know, but think about it. Who will you be living with, and tell yourself, I'm working hard to make my dreams come true because I want blank to be with me, and tell yourself it's going to happen, right? You are here. It's going to happen. All right, and then what? What will you be doing? Now, let's don't depend on the magic 8-ball, right? Sit there, shake that thing and say, tell me, magic 8-ball, is this going to happen, right? Don't depend on the 8-ball. Think about what you want in life is a brilliant exercise because it will help you live in such a way that your dream will eventually materialize. So thinking about what you want is just, that's part of It's part of it every day, right? Visualize what you'll be doing. So in your meditations, vividly imagine. Remember what the mind can conceive and believe, but you can't determine the difference between what's real and what is vividly imagined, and you really need to just take that to heart. I know maybe you're not into the deep consciousness stuff, but you just need to understand that whatever the mind just can't discern uh, between what is vividly imagined as what is real. So in your meditations, if you just vividly imagine what you're doing, it will happen because it gets that memory, that muscle memory into your brain. Oh, this is what we're supposed to be doing. And you'll start acting differently, right? If you want to act confident, then you need to visually imagine yourself acting confident. And then when you're not acting confident, stealing kind of my thunder from a few slides from here, but your brain will say, no, that's not how we act. We act this way, right? But what you want to do when you're visualizing what you'll be doing, you consider the transportation method you use to get around, right? Maybe you're riding a bus or subway. You got this big job in New York City or something, or you're in London or Paris. You taking the train, whatever it is, or maybe you just driving a nice car, right? Or maybe you just walking through a small community. Maybe that's your thing. You just you want to be in a smaller town, and hey, how you doing? All this kind of know everybody type thing. Maybe you're riding a horse. Who knows? Maybe you're riding your bike. I don't know. Motorcycle, whatever it is. But consider how you'd be spending your spare time in your dream life. When you've made it, what are you going to be doing with your spare time? There will be some spare time. If you're like me, you're going to be working until they just carry you off. But you do have some spare time, so think about what you're going to be doing, because that is going to give you the power and give you the drive to keep going when the going gets tough, because you're looking at your vision board and you're showing yourself. One of mine is doing the complete 100-mile trek around the Matterhorn. It's 10 days, 10 miles a day, and who am I going to do that with, right? But just having that experience. So consider how you be spending your spare time in your dream life. Maybe it's just laying on the beach and drinking Mai Tais till you can't see straight, right? I don't know what it is, but consider it, and who you're going to be doing that with. And then imagine what you'll be doing in your self-designed future. Will place you in the mindset that will move you closer to your dreams, because your confidence, it will soar as you entertain thoughts of how you'll pass your time. But you have to vividly imagine this stuff, and it's not voodoo, folks. It's just you got to get the subconscious on board, and it's driving the bus. and you get the subconscious on board with these dreams, then that's really more than half the battle. All right, let's talk about which. Now, not the ones on brooms, but which career will you be working in, right? I mean, there's a ton of them. Maybe it's finance, health, law, retail, education, technology, hospitality, military, engineering, construction. I don't know what it is. What is out there? What do you want to do? So, again, in my goal sessions, I don't talk about, I separate career and financial. So, and so I can't make any money in education. Well, yeah, you can if you do the right education, first of all. But if you want to just do bare bones education, want to go to Uganda or something and teach kids, you're not going to make a ton of money. But that if that's what you want to do, we have to beef up the financial plan so that you can afford to do that, right? So when you think career, don't think, oh my goodness, I can't afford to do that career. No, what career do you want to do? And then let's figure out to make it affordable, right? So separate those two between finance and career, but which career will you be working in? Now, we're getting to some real specifics about what you want in your life here. So how you earn your money to live the dream existence. Again, if you can't live on what your career is going to provide you, then we have to figure out how we're going to get the finances done for you. But think about what your job environment might look like. And again, it might be that that's the finance part of it for you. But maybe you'll be an artist in New Orleans, right? You just got a little loft, a small apartment with an extra room for your art studio. Maybe that's really what you want to do. I've got a good friend now. She's in real estate. And she's doing some wonderful artwork, and so I bet that's where her passion is right now. But real estate is funding that passion, so that happens to all of us, right? Perhaps you plan to become a traveling salesperson where you occasionally venture out of the country to contact potential customers, right? That could be a big part of it. We're all involved with right now with EXP Realty, and we're going global. And so, the opportunity to go out and meet agents in different countries is a really, really cool thing. And nice ride off to boot. But perhaps you want to travel the world, well, and you want to get paid for it. So just figure out what you can do that, right? Or you hope to own your own small business in a town where you can walk to work. Just that little bitty thing where, hey, yeah, everybody's your friend, like a Cheers bar or something, and you just go and you have some fun, But maybe you've seen people working a career that you want on television or in the movies, whatever it is. You can do whatever you want to do, and that's what I want to get across to you at this very, very point in this exercise is don't limit yourself. If you could do whatever you want to do. Back in the early day, we used to talk about that show where the guy came around and said, hey, if he gave you $1 million and says, what would you do if you had $1 million? Well, it's kind of that dream scape. If money was no object, what would you really do? Again, I love the quote, what do you love doing so much that the words failure and success essentially become irrelevant? In other words, you just love doing it. So what do you really love doing? And let's try and get you there. Now, as you imagine yourself carrying out the duties of the career you desire, your confidence is going to rise because, again, you got to get those endorphins pumping. You got to get that mind rolling, get the imagination station going and saying, hey, yeah, this is me. This is what I want to do. This is why I'm doing what I really don't love doing right now, because I'm going to get to do that in the future. And so you'll pay those dues willingly to get to play at the country club and whatever that is, whatever your country club is, let's get you there. So again, which career will you be working in? All right. Where? This is a big one. Where will you be living, right? Maybe there's many wheres, but as you progress through answering these questions, you can see how your dreams are materializing. And you probably already had bits of thoughts about where you'd be living just by working on the previous questions. So some of these come in line. So again, this is maybe a big whiteboard. I have a lot of those big old, those huge Post-it note things that you put on the wall on a pad. Maybe get you a thing of those down at the Office Store or Amazon or something, and take those and start writing on those and start posting those on the wall. They may change, right? But just get some stuff up there about what again, what you want and where you're going to be living. Now focus on that question, because the ideal location of where you'll be living when you're living your dream life. So maybe it's multiple locations, but maybe where's the main one, and maybe start getting some pictures in your mind, like these pictures here, of what it looks like and where you want to be. Maybe it's an apartment in the big city. When I did What's Trending, there were some incredible apartments we showed one time down in New York City. So maybe it's just an apartment in the big city is a place for you, or a loft in Paris or something. I'm talking about Paris a lot today. It must be on my mind. Or a big farmhouse out in the country is what you desire. So you'll have some space you want. So that's a big one for me. Just something out and away, kind of maybe off the grid for some people. That might be a nice one for you. Get some horses and some animals that you can get wore out by till you figure out, well, this wasn't such a bright idea. I got to get up at 5 a.m. just to feed the horses. But maybe you'll choose a resort area where you can live, upstairs from all the shops and boutiques in order to reside in your chosen element. So maybe it's, like I said, some really, really nice place where you got. You've all seen them when we live on top of the stores and stuff and go down. So maybe that's what you're looking for. But wherever your dream location is, visualize what it could look like. And get some travel brochures. Yeah, I mean, dadgum, I got the internet, so go up there and Google it, and maybe get some videos running or something, and just get it in your mind what it is, and get it in your vision board, and your confidence will be bolstered as you imagine living in the place you want to be. Again, this is all just about getting you some ammunition, getting the subconscious on board, getting excited, and saying, "Hey, yeah, we can do this." Because when you get to these rough spots, these rough patches, you're gonna need some big mo to get you through. And sometimes the big mo are your dreams and your visions, written, and as well as visual cues, as well as spoken. So in your meditations, maybe your affirmations, you're reading them and you're taping them, you're recording them and you play them back because you want it so as many sensory points that you can get, you want to get. So if you're reading them and listening to them and visualizing them in pictures, you really got pretty much everything but smell. I don't know how you're gonna smell the house, but maybe you can go out and smell some or something, or smell the farm. You don't want to smell the farm. I guarantee you that. But anyway, but get all the senses involved in these things. So now, when? Okay, well that's kind of important, right? When will you be comfortable with your life? In other words, you'll become more confident as you reflect on the point in your journey when you recognize you're comfortable and feel you're either close to achieving your fantasy life or have accomplished your desired result. So this is downrange, but you can put it in your goals of when this is going to happen, but you're going to start feeling it and recognize when it's time. But imagining what your future will look like on a regular basis is going to help you build a mindset that encourages your confidence. And that's what you want to do. You just want to build this mindset that, yeah, this is going to happen. And we're going to do this and this and this, and this is when, right? Now, don't let your win get in the way and burst your bubble because you say, well, yeah, I'm going to do this in 3 years. Well, let's take a look at it now. Are you really? Are you really going to drop everything we got here and and just go off the grid and live the rest of your life? Are you going to be able to sustain that? What are you doing? I know if you just want to take 6 months off and go do the Appalachian Trail, well, we know how much money that you're going to need, but you need to be prepared for what's going to happen to you when you get back from that, right? Your mind is going to be different when you get back from 6 months in isolation after on the trail, so it's going to take you a while to get back into the world again. I can guarantee you that. So, but we've got to look at all these things. But imagine what your future is going to be like on a regular basis, and that's going to help you build a mindset that's going to encourage that confidence. But when you entertain your visualization, often you'll begin to realize this is going to happen. I can live the life I want. And the point is often. Now, when is often? Well, certainly daily. I mean, you got to review your goals, your affirmations, your dreams, your vision board. You want to do that daily, probably 2-3 times a day. I mean, like I said, when you get kicked in the pants and things aren't happening during the day, and we talked about 4 quarters here. And your seasons of the day, if you got messed up in the morning, then you better do an attitude check there at noon, right? And let's review all of our goals and our dreams and get ourselves fired up so we can go back into that next appointment and make it happen for you, whatever it is. All right, so you got the win. All right, so here we are. We got who, what, when, where, why, which. Well, today we didn't really talk about who, right? But when you got your what, when, where, why, and which, that kind of is a definition. It helps build a definition of who, right? And I love the Dalai Lama here where he says, with realization of one's own potential and self-confidence in one's ability, you can build a better world. So you can build a better world for you. You can build a better world for others. But we just have to get that realization of your own potential and get that self-confidence built. And getting your vision done is a huge part of that. Well, all right. Well, that's it for today. We're going to come back for part 2 on Wednesday. So be sure and get back with us on Wham Wednesday. We only went about 25 minutes maybe today. So hop through here and let's go through the vision part of it and make sure that that you do have all that rolling for yourself. I'm going to hop back in here and say goodbye to you real quick. But have a great weekend. And again, let's start working on if you haven't worked on your dreams and vision board in a while, let's look at that and let's start thinking again about these questions. And let's back up. Let me back up one slide here so you can see it again. Who is a big part of it, but what, when, where, why, and which. So let's get out the W's. Let's get this thing going for yourself this weekend. All right, well, have a great one. I got a good challenge for you on Monday, so don't want to miss that one. And until then, have a great weekend.